Alright, today we are still going to be talking about proportional versus non-proportional relationships. I'm going to need you to be on page 39 in your notebook. Do not forget to fill out your table of contents page. This is your warm-up for today, so it's going to go on the left side of your notebook, and it says Jerry bought 3 shirts for $9.75. What was the cost per shirt, or what was the cost of one shirt? And so in order for me to solve this, in case you weren't sure exactly what to do, I might draw a box, and that box may help you. So go ahead and pause your video so that you can do your warm-up. This is your example. It says the drama club charges a $10 fee each month plus $5 per class. So the very first thing I need to do is create an equation, and that's going to go right here. I want to write an equation that represents that problem. I need to highlight the important information, and so I'm going to highlight $10 fee and $5 per class. Those are the two important things in our problem. So my equation is going to be y is equal to 5x, because that is $5 per class. So each class is going to cost me $5 plus a $10 fee that they are going to charge me. In order for me to solve this problem, the first thing I should do is create a line just like we did yesterday right here. And that's just so that we can fit our y values in here. And so then I need to just fill in my equation. So I have y is equal to 5, and I replace my x with my 1, because that is what I have here. And then I do plus 10. I know that 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 plus 10 is 15. So my y value is 15. I have to do the same thing all the way down. So I have y is equal to 5 times 2 this time, because that is my x value, plus 10. I know that 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So my y value on the second one is 20. And I have to keep going to fill out my table. So y is equal to 5 times 3 this time, because that's my x value, plus 10. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then 15 plus 10 would give me 25. So if you notice, your y values are increasing by 5. This is where it just gets a little bit tricky. Not too bad, it just makes you want to really pay close attention to your table. I have a 10 here, so it was going plus 1, and then here it's jumping to plus 7. So I need to make sure that in my equation that I write 10 instead of 4, because it's not increasing by 1 at this point. So I want to know how much it's going to cost for 10 classes. So I have y is equal to 5 times 10, and then plus 10. And so in order for me to solve this problem, I have to do 5 times 10, which I know is 50, and 50 plus 10, which I know is 60. So now I have filled in all of my y values. The next step I need to do is fill in my k values, or my constant of proportionality. In order for me to do that, I have to do k is equal to y over x. These are my y values right here, and these are my x values. So all I have to do is divide those. So I have 15 over 1, and I know that our fraction bars represent division, so I know 15 divided by 1 is just 15. And then I go to the next one. I have 20 over 2, and I know that 20 divided by 2 is 10. If you notice, the first one was 15 and the second was 10. So that tells me right there, because they are all different, or they both are different, that tells me that this is a non-proportional relationship. But I still have to finish my table. So I have 25, that is my y value, and I'm dividing that by 3. And 25 divided by 3, I'm not exactly sure what that is, so I may have to do some division. So 25 divided by 3. 3 goes into 25 8 times. And 8 times 3 is 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. But I don't like remainders, so I need to add a decimal and a 0. And 3 goes into 10 3 times. And that brings me to 9, and 10 minus 9 is 1. If you notice, if I bring down another 0, this is going to be repeating, because that is going to go on another 3 times, and it's going to keep repeating. So over here, my k value is 8.33, and the 3's are repeating, so don't forget your repeating symbol. Then I have the next one. I have 60 divided by 10. So 60 divided by 10, and I know that that is 6. So you can box in your values so that they're easier to see. But then I have a couple of questions off to the side. So the first question says, how much would 12 classes cost? So I still need to use this equation that I found at the very beginning in order to solve for 12 classes. Because remember, my x value is my 12 class, or my classes. My x value is trying to tell me how many classes am I going to take and how much are those going to cost. So let's write our equation. Y is equal to 5x plus 10. And so in order for me to solve this, all I have to do is I need to plug in that 12 into my x. So this 12 is my x value. So it's going to go right here. So my new equation is y is equal to 5 times 12 plus 10. I know that 5 times 12 is 60, and 60 plus 10 is 70. So y is equal to $70. If you go back to your table, your y value is your money, or how much things cost. Then I have letter B. It says, how many classes can you take for $60? So this one's a little bit backwards, right? So I still need the same equation. Y is equal to 5x plus 10. I'm going to be using the same equation for all of the problems that correspond with this table. So I'm going to plug in this $60. But remember, we went to our table and we know that cost is our y value, or that money is your y value. So it needs to go to your y. So I have 60 is equal to 5x plus 10. Now this one's a little more complicated, but it's not too bad. So I have 5x plus 10, but I need to find this x value in order for me to determine how many classes I can take. So I first need to get rid of this. That is my b value in my equation. That is the y-intercept that we'll learn about a little bit later. And so this is plus 10, and I know the opposite of plus 10 is minus 10. So I need to subtract 10. 10 minus 10 is 0, so I can just go ahead and cross those out. Then I go to the other side of my equation here, and it needs to go over here as well, so minus 10. Now what I have to do is I have to do 60 minus 10, and 60 minus 10 I know is 50. Then I'm going to bring this 5x down as well as my equal sign. And so then you are going to tell me 5 times what gives me 50? And so in order for me to determine 5 times what, I've got to think about it. I know that 5 times 10 gives me 50. So x is equal to 10 classes. X is equal to 10 classes. So for $60, I can take 10 classes. You're going to need to glue these notes in on page 39. You may have to put 4 dots on the back of this. And then your next step would be to try it on your own. So you have 4 problems. The first problem looks really similar to what we did yesterday, but it has different numbers in it. So it's not the exact same value, so be careful to pay close attention to that. And so these 4 problems will be due before you leave today.